Markowitz, Marty Markowitz, and needs no further introduction. Marty.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. And of course, this is such a great moment for all of us that we are truly blessed to have lived through the Nelson Mandela era. And he is certainly first among the citizens of the world, of every nation. He represents the epitome of the eternal quest of humankind to live in a free society. And I can't think of anyone more in our lifetime worldwide that represented the struggle of freedom and democracy and an end to racism and hate than Nelson Mandela. 95 years young, we should all be as good looking as him if we're blessed to live that age. Articulate, brilliant, a man that has added to all of our lives. He really has. Of course, in America, Martin Luther King and so many others, but when it comes to the world stage forevermore, Nelson Mandela is one that all nations and all people of every race, creed, and nationality will always cherish in their lives. So I want to thank Council Member Matthew Eugene for joining us, and I'll have him say a few words in a moment. Of course, Council Member Emeritus Una Clark, that I was very pleased to work with, and by the way, if that name rings a bell, yes, she is the mom of our Congresswoman Yvette Clark. Ola Alabi, who is a district leader here in Brooklyn, and the children that you see behind me will be singing happy birthday to Tata Mandela, and they are from the Noel Pointer Foundation Youth Orchestra, led by Shanita Pointer, and it's so good to have her here.
Ow!
And the kids, Bob Myers. Bob, thank you with the Central Brooklyn Jazz Consortium, and it was his idea to have this done, and I thank you, Bob, as always. And of course, Madiba Restaurant. Let me tell you, Brooklyn's got lots of firsts, and let me tell you, we were the first. Madiba Restaurant, the best of cuisine in the South African tradition, with a little Brooklyn attitude, that's for sure. Mark Hennigan, thank you very, very much for being here, for your outstanding service to Brooklyn. And finally, as we all remember, in June of 1990, Nelson Mandela arrived in the USA, and his first stop, you got it, was Brooklyn, USA. Bed-Stuy, East New York, and Fort Greene. And for those of us that remember or are able to go back and watch it on YouTube, not YouTube, there wasn't YouTube, but to go back and watch it on standard video, it was truly a great day in Brooklyn and New York and America, that's for sure. So let me introduce for a few words before we begin. Matthew Eugene, our councilman.
Woo! Thank you very much, Marty. It is an honor and pleasure for me to be here with our board president and also one of our leaders at Trailblazers in the community, the former council member Una Clark, and Ola also, and all of you here. You know, I said to myself, I have to come here to join you to pay tribute to a giant, to a great hero, Nelson Mandela. Somebody, he was fighting not only for South Africa, but also for all of us, for the humankind, for justice in the world. And he makes me think to one of my ancestors, Toussaint Louverture from Haiti, the one who started the fight for the liberation of slaves in Haiti. He was put in jail also by the French people, he died. But I think Nelson Mandela, what he was doing it for all of us here. And every day should be a day for Nelson Mandela, for all of us who believe in justice, equity. And I commend the board president and all of you here. And Nelson Mandela now is celebrating 95 years, and my mother also is 95 years. So I got all the reason to be here. To all of you, thank you for doing that. Let's pray for him. We wish that he could stay another 95 years, but he did his part. I think all of us here, we have to continue to follow his step, to fight for justice, for equity, anywhere where we could be and anywhere in the world. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Woo!
up. You take it.
Okay, now we also like to, I don't know if Una Clark would like to say a couple words. She was there actually when all this went down in June 21st, 1990. Maybe Una could give us a couple of brief words to go over that day down Fulton Street. Una Clark.
To the distinguished borough president, to my friend Mr. Madiba, I eat at the South African restaurant as often as I can. But I am honored and privileged to be standing here today to say to you I was on the victory lap with Nelson Mandela and Winnie Mandela from Boys and Girls High throughout the borough of Brooklyn. But prior to that, the wonderful labor leader, Robinson, asked me to join a movement that I didn't know what it was all about. But he told me that Harry Belafonte was a part of it, and I said, why not? So I was a part of the struggle to free South Africa. I spent many days, many evenings in Central Park rallying to free Nelson Mandela. I was a part of those who said, let's make sure that the United States do not do business with South Africa until we get our freedom. And so today I stand at the 95th birthday of a hero, of a giant, of a role model, and of history. We are on the right side of history, and as around the world today, the birthday of Nelson Mandela will be celebrated in every corner of the world, and we in Brooklyn can do no less, because Brooklyn is the standard for everything in the United States of America. And so I come and I greet the young people who will be singing, and I just want to say to you, history is your guide. And I wanted to be able to learn everything you can about Nelson Mandela and make sure that your lives reflect his life for the future to come, because our race, our nation, and the world depend on integrity, honesty, and hard work. And Nelson Mandela is a signal of all of that. So I am honored to have been there at the beginning, and whatever happens from now on, I say to everybody, his soul and his spirit will always be with us. When his body goes, his spirit will always live with us as a symbol of freedom and of humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Clark. And now we'd like to bring on Janita Pointer. Ms. Janita Pointer from the Noel Pointer Youth Orchestra. Janita.
Good afternoon. It is such an honor and a privilege to be here to celebrate Nelson Mandela's 95th birthday. I can remember when Noel and I got married, and you can call on Noel Pointer to do anything when it came to the community. And people would call Noel and ask him to participate in concerts and to speak out for apartheid, and he got very much involved with Nelson Mandela and the work in which he was doing, and he stood for freedom and righteousness, and I'm just so blessed and honored to be able to have our kids here today to represent our community and our children and our parents and the nonprofit organizations and the freedom that we all stand for, and we look forward to each day. I am honored and blessed to be here with Borough President Marty Markowitz and so many others. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Tata Mandela.
Woo! Ow!
Thank you. You're the best. You need to stay in.
Yeah,
No, you did a good job.
Marty, get in the
Happy birthday, Tata Mandela. Happy birthday, Tata Mandela. Happy birthday, Tata Mandela. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, we'd like to invite everybody to have a piece of Tata's birthday cake. And once again, we'd like to thank the Office of the Borough President, Marty Markowitz, for making Borough Hall available to us today to mark this special day. Marty, thank you again, Marty.
I don't know about moving up, but moving on.
Eugene, Marty, just right here.